Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is the case of the Kennedys.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Kennedy, you brought this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting a little higher, and sports, dances, going out hanging with girls, and yeah, I just want a little more help on my end. I'm paying insurance already. And,
Okay. How much are you paying in insurance?
$130.
All right. And what is your daughter's name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Autumn. Okay. So what type of expenses does she have that are increasing?
Yeah, so she's doing volleyball right now, and we're thinking that she's going to be doing that in high school as well.
Okay.
So just, athletic wear and then traveling, going to places. I want to go and support her and as well as her, but, I'm the one having to drive and take her if I don't want her to ride the bus because I don't feel her safe doing that.
Okay. Is this a school bus or?
Yeah, it's a school bus.
With her teammates?
With her teammates, yes.
And you don't feel that she should, ride with her teammates?
If it's really far away, maybe like an hour or more, I'll
Okay.
drive her. But, if it's 30 minutes or less, I'll usually let her typically go.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
She's just a growing girl, and girls are expensive, as they say. So.
I mean, we are. We have a lot of stuff that we need. So, yeah. Ma'am, is there anything you want to add or subtract from what he said?
Yes, Your Honor, I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay. Tell me about this new relationship.
Well, I can't really help who I have fallen in love with.
Mr. Kennedy steps forward, cool and collected, ready to make his case. He's covering insurance, splitting custody, and keeping up with the rising costs of raising their daughter. But this isn't just about bills. It's about balance. From volleyball fees to transportation, he's pulling his weight and asking for a little extra support. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, hold on, because the real showdown is about to begin. Enter Mom, but not just any mom, a newlywed, now married, to a CEO of a major energy company. You'd expect financial ease, but here's the twist. She insists her weekly allowance is only $500, that's right, an allowance. Suddenly, this case isn't just about child support. It's about lifestyle, relationships, and a whole lot of tension. The judge stays unfazed, but the room is buzzing. Her argument? She put her own education on hold for his success, and now she wants payback. But there's one big problem. That's not how the law works.
So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance, and it isn't as much as you would think coming from, well, my husband's a CEO of an energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week. Okay. All right.
So, which really isn't that big a deal. I mean, obviously.
That big a deal in terms of the amount of money, or you paying child support for more in child support for the child living with him and having increased expense?
Well, I don't think it's that big a deal to Mr. Kennedy because he has a pretty healthy income himself.
But you do understand his income does not have anything to do with an increase in what you should be paying in child support, right?
Yes, I understand that, but what I
Okay.
don't think has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that, so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. So I'm not sure that it's fair. I would like to consider all the money that wasn't spent on me that should have been spent on me while we were married.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not how this works. And sir, she says she gets a $500 a week allowance from her husband. and who is a CEO of an energy company. Briefly, how much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
She's standing her ground. Yes, she married a wealthy man, but no, that doesn't mean she can dish out more money. Still, when pressed about her husband's income, she suddenly doesn't know, though she has no trouble recalling that their car cost a cool $200K. The judge listens, piecing things together but keeping the focus sharp. The law is clear. I agree. Spouse's fortune isn't part of the equation unless they're legally involved, and here's where it gets interesting. This turns into a strategic game of dodging and deflecting. Lavish lifestyle? On display? Actual financial accountability? Slipping through the cracks. But patience in this courtroom has a limit. The judge steers the conversation back to the cold, hard facts. Mom pays zero in child support. Nothing. While being a stay-at-home mom is respected, it doesn't cancel out responsibility. The message is firm. Upgrading your life doesn't mean walking away from obligations. Then comes the moment of clarity. The talk of luxury cars and CEO husbands fades away, and the focus lands where it belongs, on the child. And finally, after all the back and forth, Mom concedes, yes, she sees the real costs.
It's a lot.
It's a lot?
I think so.
When you say a lot, is it like in the 200,000s, 300,000s?
Well, the car that he drives was about 200,000. So I'm thinking you'd probably have to
You
make
only
more
get a
than that.
$500 a week. You know what? That's not my business. That's not the reason I'm here. I'm not going to even entertain that.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'll just move on. Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town of energy,
Steve Jobs.
so to say.
So let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
No,
job?
his success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our
Okay.
daughter. And like I said, I just want a little more help because she's
Okay.
getting older. And, if she's happily married with whoever and how big his wallet is, that is totally up to her.
Okay, well, I'm glad that's not what you were doing because you can't do that anyway. But what we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support because at this point you've been paying zero. Because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay. But you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay,
but
so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make.
Okay.
So, based on that, I have your gross at $2,000 a month. After you take out the calculations for the tax,
With her $500 a week allowance laid out, the judge does the math, $2,000 a month in income. That means $266 in child support. Tack on the $130 reimbursement for medical insurance, and bam, $396 a month. It's simple, it's fair, and it's final. This is the justice system working as it should, slicing through the drama and focusing on the facts. She tries to push back, but the judge isn't having it. The numbers don't lie, and the decision is locked in. Out of nowhere, Mom drops a wild claim. Dad is spending over $400 a month on psychic consultations. Her argument? If he can pay for a fortune teller, he can cover insurance. With one swift response, she shuts it down. This case is about her financial responsibility, not his spending habits. The irony is thick, trying to dodge child support by bringing up tarot cards and crystal balls. In a courtroom, that argument just vanished into thin air.
taxes, your net comes out to $1,662.53. Okay? That would give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to have to reimburse that to him. So, in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130, your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.
Can I say something?
Sure, but make it brief.
Okay, well, I don't know if he's still subscribing to the same psychic,
Okay.
but she charges, I think it's $412 a month.
Okay.
And-
What does this psychic have to do with these numbers?
Well, because I just feel like if he can afford the psychic, then maybe he can afford the insurance. And I guess I feel that that is money that could have gone towards my education while we were married.
Okay, well, I've already said no to that. That has nothing to do with me. I mean, you should address that in your divorce, obviously. And whatever he pays, if he in a psychic, if he chooses to do that, that has nothing to do with your responsibility, your financial responsibility to your daughter. So if there's nothing further from either of you, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rise and walk out.
The judge lays it out. Education costs during the marriage, psychic bills, and spousal luxuries. Not the court's concern. What matters is the child's well-being and making sure both parents pull their weight. The silence in the courtroom says it all. No more excuses, no more distractions. The ruling is firm, fair, and final. This is what the law does best, stripping away emotion and ego until only facts and responsibility remain. The gavel drops, and with it, any last illusions. They were once married. Now she's married to wealth. But none of that changes her. Duty to support her child. The judge stuck to Texas law. When finances shift, support can too. And while a new spouse's riches don't count, her income, including that weekly allowance, absolutely does. At the end of the day, this case isn't about personal drama, it's about financial facts. The lesson? Courts don't care about who you marry, they care about what you earn and what your child needs.